Okay, y'all. Adam's like putting on some clothes or something. Let's ambush him. Hey, Adam, we're about to start the podcast.
What the fuck, dude? Okay.
This is how the podcast is starting. And yo, I don't have Zoom in this function.
This podcast is happening in the hood.
Legit, the South Shore hood. Check out this collection right here.
Yeah, I hung up the Rat Boys. They look freaking nice, eh?
Yeah,
All 13 of them. 14. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The other day you pulled this out and called it a print. This is not a print. This is a wood block print. It's a very different thing from a print. This is an original piece of art that his hand carved that wood block. And then he took it and
You don't consider that a print?
I do not consider that a print. A print is something digital that you can get done at a print shop. It's a type of print, but it's an original piece of art. If we're talking about the hierarchy of investing in art, you definitely want a woodblock print before you want a print made at a print shop where there was 100 of them made.
Okay, because that's what
a printer.
Because let's start with that. I actually have a hard time selling prints because I feel that they're cheap.
But your prints aren't cheap. I mean, that's what like.
Well, that's why I did the woodblock because I can't. Like, there's something inside me that's like, nah, don't go to the store and just, like, print 50 of those things. Because, wow, I don't want to say that if you fucking like prints, but you know what I mean? Like,
I don't care if you think my prints are whack. Lots of people that buy them don't think they're whack. I don't think they're whack.
Well, I think that's why I can't, like, I don't try and sell many prints, but also at the same time, I don't sell many prints. And I think that all has to do with the fact that I don't believe mentally in prints.
I'll be honest with you, when I started my art career, I didn't believe in prints either. I wanted to be an artist who only made originals, and I used to have this idea that making prints cheapened your art to a certain extent.
Now you're talking to me.
I learned the opposite is true, and it comes back to what we were talking about the other day of provenance. If there's 100 people that own a print of your image, now that's 100 people that can tell and show other people that image. Now that means the original of that image is more desirable. And prints is also, like digital prints, is also a great way to make your art accessible to people who might not be art collectors or investors. They just really, really love that image, and it resonates with them for whatever reason, makes them feel a certain way that they want to have it in their lives. And by making it affordable and available to them...
Is that why you made Pacific Northwest that I'm showing right now?
Yes.
It isn't.
It's not, but yeah.
You got to print the Pacific Northwest right up there.
It's not a print. These are bookmarks. These are my bookmarks. As we were talking about in last episode,
but there's a bookmark right there that you don't want to show people, right?
There is, and I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't show it to anyone. There's 2 other bookmarks up there that I don't mind if you show to people. Feel free
I'll show
to
them
get those.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
But bookmarks...
These ones?
No, not those ones.
You sure I don't want to...
I'm positive. You can show...
These ones?
Like,
these ones?
No, not these. Oh, there's white there. Nice. Good. Okay, enough about these stupid bookmarks. But, like, really they're not stupid if you're an artist and people like your art and they want an affordable way to support you. And let's face it, they're cool. The bookmarks are cool. If you read and you use bookmarks, it's way better than folding the pages over in your favorite books. Just use a bookmark. So it's great. It's a good way to get your art out there. Bookmarks, stickers, magnets, things like that. They're all small items that you can usually charge less than $10. People get 2 or 3 or 4 of them or whatever, and it's a great way to get your designs out there to people that love your designs, but maybe they're not really serious art collectors, investors. They just want that image in their life some way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I sell prints, and that's why I don't feel bad about it, because if somebody's willing to, take their money and give it to me to get the magic that I've created with my art, like we were talking about. Making art is, in a way, a type of magic. It creates something that didn't exist before that makes people feel a certain way.
It's definitely visual magic that stimulates the emotions. You're moving someone's emotions, therefore, is an energy,
yes.
Right? Energy is energy in motion, so that must be emotion. So I think it's definitely magic, and you give me something to think about. Because I was doing the whole, like, the vinyl prints.
Yeah.
That was, like, my way, like, if they're so freaking big, and literally the vinyl prints that I was moving, I think I only have 3 queen spaces, if anyone cares. I ended up using them as, like, did you see them in front of my sink?
Yeah.
I used them on the floor in front of my sink, so, when stuff falls on the floor, at least it falls on this vinyl print, and it doesn't go on the floor. But then, you wash the vinyl print, and it comes off the print. So I have one as a shower mat, and I have one as a kitchen mat.
Well, that's a pretty genius idea.
And they were prints. They were supposed to be on a wall. Now they're on the floor. That's how high my footprints, you know?
But let me tell you, now that you have these things, like
it's ingenious. People come over and they're like, "Whoa,
yeah!"
dude. They think it's a placemat.
You've turned your art into something that somebody can use in their lives. That maybe they're not an art collector, that they want to buy a floor mat with your art on it, and now you can make money from them.
And what the real thing that happened was,
and it's not about making money; it's about giving people what they want. And yes, when you've got bills to pay like everyone else does, we got to make our ends meet. But, like, the goal isn't just to make money. The goal is to give people what they want and to be rippling out our energy and our
and don't
our
stifle
magic
that.
into
Is
the
what you're
world.
trying to say, right? Don't stifle.
Yeah, don't stifle that. You know, like, I see that attitude on social media a lot where people are like, oh, you just do art for the money. And I don't understand that attitude.
Okay, well, we have to touch on this, too, because, you get this sometimes. This man makes mandalas, okay? And other art too. Here's his other style. What do you call that style?
This style is kind of inspired by 1980s video games.
I'll take it off. Is it?
It's Velcroed.
It's Velcroed. Okay. So, but my point was, he does mandalas, and mandalas can be considered a practice that's done spiritually sometimes. You know.
Definitely, by a lot of people, it is.
The Tibetan monks do it spiritually with the sand mandalas.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut my head off here.
No, if you sit back, it's better. Now, if we sit back, it's like too high.
Okay.
I'm the frame master. Okay. No, but you know, like sometimes mandalas can be of a spiritual nature, and in the Tibetan sense, they're blown away. They're done with sand, and once they're done, they destroy them. And now people kind of like attribute those aspects of the art to mandalas, and then throw that on you because you're doing mandalas. So what I'm asking you is, like, how do you deal with the fact that your art, some people come at you and don't want you to sell mandalas?
Yeah, I actually had one person write me, like, almost a book. Like, it took me, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to read this message, and they basically wrote me a huge message about how there was a special place in the lowest levels of hell for people like me that dared to make money selling mandalas, as if I'm driving around in Mercedes-Benzes and Rolls-Royces and flying around the world. It's like, no, most of the money I make from making mandalas pays my rent, buys me food, pays my phone bill, and runs my business. It turns my mandalas into all those things that I can help ripple out into the world for people who love that energy. And the money allows me to do that. I'm not rich.
He's balling.
I don't drive a car. I don't own a car. Like, you know, I make enough money to meet my basic needs and keep my business going and slowly growing. And so when people come at me with that attitude, first of all, most of them are not aware that if you want to hire those Buddhist monks to come make a sand mandala and blow it away for you the next day, they're going to charge you thousands and thousands of dollars. They do not do that for free. They need to support their monastery. They need to eat. The
flight from Tibet ain't free,
The flight from Tibet ain't free. The monastery ain't free. The food they eat every day ain't free. They got to buy their rice somewhere. You know, it's not every monastery that the monks grow their own food. So, you know, like, if you're going to throw that attitude at me, you got to throw it at those Tibetan monks too, because they charge money for their stuff too. Then if you don't want to throw that attitude at monks, then don't throw it at me. So that's what it comes down to.
But sometimes art in general gets that stigma.
Not sometimes, pretty often.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
Art should be free. And as an artist, I believe that is technically true. Art is free. And the only reason we pay a lot of money for it is to honor that. Because if you don't honor art, it's worthless. So that's the weird, that's why I love art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as an artist, you want to give art to the world.
Definitely.
And you are.
That's why I do it.
And you are, you know? But to the person who wants to honor it, there's a symbol for that. And it doesn't mean that it has to be Queen's face, you know? But there's a symbol of honor, a karma exchange. And if it's not met, then the art can't exchange to that person because it won't be honored.
No, you're right. And I totally agree with that. You know, like, I come from a sales background and working in call centers and telemarketing, and I sold advertising for 10 or 12 years. So, I mean, I come from an advertising and sales background. So that's the way that I talk about the art business, because that's the way that I learned how to talk about business and operate as a business person. And the metaphysical side of it, although I'm aware of it and I do believe in it, and it's very powerful, it's not necessarily the way that I talk about it all the time. Like, law of attraction, for me, the main part of law of attraction is that last part, action. if you don't take action, I don't know what you're going to attract.
In this case, what's the action? Asking for cash?
In this case, the action is just making... there's a whole slew of actions that come with being an artist, but in this case, I guess the action is just just expressing my feelings on that attitude of art should be free, and it's specifically when people tell me I should go to hell for selling mandalas that, all right. Whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
It's pretty brutal. Like, I honestly felt really... I felt really shook up at that point because it really... Like, this person was very, very, very angry at me for doing this, and I didn't understand why. And I started to wonder how many other people think like that and are looking at me online hating me. And that's another side of, sharing stuff on social media, that if you get known to any level, that you will face haters.
I often fantasize about, like, going into someone's house, being the ultimate hater. You go into someone's house and you just hate on their hobby. Oh, you do that? That's garbage. And you give them the reasons that a fucking troll on the internet would give, in the sense that trolls are very, like, they do it online and they're proud and they fucking have the confidence to do it. But if you were in real life, in the person's house, and it's a hobby, you know what I mean? Now your hobby became your business. But at the same time, you're painting. Mm-hmm. Bro, who are you to say what a guy should be doing with liquid paint before it solidifies? You know what I mean? But it's just like such a hateful troll act to come in on the internet.
And you know what?
I
think that it's really cool we're talking about this, because I think that most people that like art have no idea that artists deal with this kind of attitude and these kinds of people on a pretty regular basis.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
That's
a good point.
Because I'll be honest, if somebody comes on my posts and is really rude with me, I delete their comment. You'll never see that rude asshole, because I don't want to see it again when other people comment and I get the notification and I have to go see that asshole again. I don't let that energy into my space. So when people are rude with me, I usually delete their comments, so you won't see those. And it's not like I'm trying to censor people that have different opinions. It's like I'm trying to keep my own mood in a good mood so that I can keep making the best art I can to share with you, so that I'm not going back to old me complaining about Facebook and da-da-da. I'm being healthy, positive, and that's what I want to ripple out. I want to ripple out that everybody that has goals and desires that they want to do, like we mentioned last time, do them, because you are dying.
Action. You're dying. Did you literally say that last time? Is that the thing that I should gamify right now?
Yeah, no, I don't know if you want to gamify that, but...
We're gamifying. Yeah. Wait, did I lose my patch? Oh, I lost it.
I hope not.
I might have lost it.
Well, or it's there's in this another pocket. One in Patch Mahal.
No, I'm not giving... Oh, it's in this pocket.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I brought a patch with me for episode 2 because I figured that at one point...
Show this little fucking patch.
We'd ask about something from episode 1 and... Well, we'd say...
There you go. Can you see how creamy that is? That's cream.
So, you're even shocking me. What was the line?
I don't remember. I said something about you're gonna die. And if you have a passion, you gotta go do it.
Okay, look, if you can find the time code... If you can find the time code for that specific line, I'm sending you this cream.
Nice.
Simple as that.
Do it.
Because I can use the time code to make a slice to pull it out. You know what I mean?
Speaking of cream and the patch, which, by the way, you gotta go... post that time code down there in the comments. Yeah. Whoever posted first, that's who gets it.
Maybe second too. But if you're cheating and you just saw the other guy's thing and you didn't really listen and find it for yourself, then how do I know I should be sending this to you?
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. You don't know.
Now, I want to know if you want to explain cream to people, because I think cream is genius. I think cream is probably one of the best ideas you've come up with since I've known you, and you've come up with many, many, many good ideas.
But I wanted to touch on the fact of the death thing, but I guess we'll move forward with cream. Cream just stands for karma rules everything around me. So in the 90s when I grew up, Wu-Tang was a big thing. Cash ruling everything around me was pretty interesting because it sticks in your mind. Everyone knows about cream. And cash does rule our society, but isn't that lame? So I kind of want to touch back on that, like revisit that motto, but really what the ultimate truth is that karma rules everything around us.
There you go, thank you.
And it's a very easy bootleg. And my real reasoning behind all this and why I'm wearing a pollution shirt is that I feel that words have a powerful impact on people. They're vague enough that they can write their own story and tell their own story once wearing it. And that's what I kind of wanted to make as a clothing brand. The graphics that I use to advertise and are great, but a specific word across the chest, and not something superficial. I don't want it to be like supreme, where you think you're supreme, and that's literally what they did to you. You know, it's like I'm wearing a shirt that says greatness.
You know what we should do? We should make a shirt that says, "You're gonna die."
That might be the podcast shirt. You're gonna die. So
Me and you should just make a shirt.
We're gonna make a shirt. I don't know if it's gonna say "You're gonna die" because this is what I'm getting into.
But it's a good message to pass along to everyone. Walk down the street, you're gonna die, and it reminds everyone that walks by that they're gonna die. And are you happy today? Are you going back to a job you hate after lunch when you just saw this guy walking by reminding you you're gonna die? Or are you gonna go do something about the fact you're gonna die?
This guy's crushing the game, dude. Write it down. We gotta.
We don't need to write it down. We recorded it.
We gotta figure out the font.
If we forget, we'll just ask somebody to go find the time code on next episode.
Comment if you would buy a shirt, because I don't know. I'm wearing a shirt that says pollution. I think that is what people need to know about. But if you think fucking "you're gonna die" is something we should do, I will take my wallet out right now, sir, and I will give you all the numbers to my Visa, and they are 55102.
That's not a Visa, that's a MasterCard. Visas all start with the number 4, MasterCards all start with the number 5.
Sales boy over here.
Telemarketing.
Okay, I thought by saying Visa they wouldn't actually be able to use my number, but now you said MasterCard, and now they have the first 6 numbers. If they get the next 6 numbers, I'm done.
No, there's 14 digits.
Sorry, 8. I gave... He knows too much about cards. Okay, but I want to go back to the death thing, right? The fact that it can be seen as a negative, right? That we're all wasting away slowly and decomposing. But with that said, we have a chance to do something for the culture here.
For me, it's not depressing. It's exciting. Like, how do you feel when you know Christmas is coming? Like when you're a kid. Like, I don't know. For me, it's like, it's exciting. It gives me reason. It's like knowing Santa Claus, believing in Santa Claus. It's like, okay, it's the same motivation. Like, I gotta live my
Not
best.
Not death though. Death is a motivation.
But I gotta live I gotta be good or bad, because like once I get to the end, like I get a reward, and like the reward of living a good life and building your passions is that you get to live the life you want in your passions. That's the reward. So that's the Santa Claus. That's the gift under the tree, is that you build a life around yourself that you love living, instead of something where you look at other people and you're inspired by them, but you never do anything yourself.
And okay, so let me tell you,
because you're dying, you're gonna die. You should buy this shirt. Remind yourself. Remind everyone else.
Comment if you're actually gonna buy a shirt. I will fucking take out that credit card and pay for them. At least more than one.
Are these people commenting live here? Is that what's coming up?
No, those are just like DMs that I get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DMs are coming in and blocking our face, so he's wondering what these DMs are. We are now filming on my phone, but...
For anyone of my fans who's not down with the lingo, DMs is direct message.
Direct messages. Oh, there's another one. Girls are direct messaging me. What are you going to do?
Oh.
We also got this. Now I brought a tablet. So there will be... Adam told me that some people wanted to get calls and wanted to be in on the show.
Honestly, first, I want to say thanks to everyone who's been giving us feedback, because like almost all of it has been an amazing feedback, and that's why we're doing like episode 2 just a couple of days later, because we're both excited and grateful. So that's amazing. And yeah, some people in comments in groups and stuff that I posted this in episode 1 in have mentioned that they'd love to be guests on the podcast. Now, one thing I wanted to mention about that, if you're watching this and you want us to have you on as a guest or want to feature your art or something like that, like go back and watch episode 1 and learn what we talked about, how to network with artists. Because when you're networking with artists...
Bro, I don't even remember.
Buy their art.
Oh! If you don't buy a fucking bookmark, I ain't calling you.
I don't want to say it that way, but I'll say that if you do buy a bookmark, your chances are much higher.
Okay, so let's touch on it, because I do like is it the 80-20 strategy, or is that something totally different?
That's not really a strategy, it's just a fact.
What's the 80-20 again?
The 80-20 is that 80% of your business will go to
not that one.
80% of your business will come from 20% of your clients.
The one where you spend, where you fucking just message people that are in the scene.
Oh, Gary Vaynerchuk's $1.80 strategy?
$1.80. It doesn't cost $1.80.
Yeah, it's actually
But you
free.
will make more than $1.80.
Yeah.
This strategy, he told me about it. I think Gary Vaynerchuk is a genius with coming up with coining terms for the overarching theory.
He is. He's also a genius. If you're watching this and you want to stay motivated, or you're thinking of starting a business of any kind, look him up. He's everywhere. He's on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere.
Hold on. Disclosure, if you Google it once, he will be popping up all the time.
Yeah, Gary V-E-E. Type that in. Vaynerchuk is hard to spell, but V-E-E is not. So trust me, if you get this guy's content in your life, you might end up like me.
So I'm bootlegging him right now, and I'll tell you his content. $1.80 strategy. That's your 10 cents, correct?
No, it's dropping your 2 cents in 90 comments every day.
But these 90 comments...
Your 2 cents means dropping your 2 cents. We're going to 90 influencers that are in whatever industry you're trying to get known in. Gallery, in art world, it could be gallery owners, gallery curators, other well-known artists, people that sell art supplies. Drop it on Michael's Facebook account all the time. That you love shopping there, stuff like that. And... yeah.
The store? Wow. I didn't see that
like
coming.
Things like that.
Because there's things that I was doing. This is genius because you already do this. If you're doing effective, you're just an effective person. I follow people. I'm inspired by people. I reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. And I say things like that. But what happened eventually is that because I'm commenting, they realized me, and they were like, oh, this guy's fucking always saying something. So I become part of their life. And likewise, what he's saying, not about the bookmarks, but if you do that to not really just us, but anyone who's in your field.
Yeah.
If you're commenting to a lot of people in your field, you get noticed in the scene, not just by the person you're commenting
and here's
to,
like
the other people reading the comments, the whole shebang.
There you go, the other people reading the comments. That's who you're trying to connect with as much as the person whose post you're connecting on. Because if you're posting on somebody's comments that's like, that you like, and you're genuinely leaving a legitimate comment about why and how much you like whatever it is they're posting, other people that like them are going to see that, and they're going to be like, hey, this guy likes the same thing I do, or this girl likes the same thing I do. Let's be friends. How do you meet friends in real life? Usually because you like things that are the same. You went to a concert, you're both at the same bar, you're both at the same school, you're both taking the same class, you both work together, whatever it is, it's something in common. That's how friendships are built.
I want to touch upon, like,
no different.
Online, there could be people that follow me that I just don't know who you are, because you only like, and there's a lot of people liking, and you're not messaging, and you're not commenting. So I don't see your name. You're in a sea of people, and it's like, I don't want to sound like unhumble here, but it's like, I'd like to know who you are, basically. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'd like to know who you are.
100%.
It's like, dude, do you know who Mondo Maestro is?
Yes, very much. Very much.
Bro, everyone knows who Mondo Maestro is, okay? You can't go a day without thinking about Mondo Maestro. And what's his other? There's a Maestro Wave.
Yeah.
It like never ends. The guy, you're a genius.
Yeah, he's awesome.
A genius.
I mean, if you go on either of our Instagram accounts, you can find this guy in our comment sections. And it's
wait a year. Mondo Maestro, you'll never forget it.
I guarantee
Unless he changes it to Maestro.wave, or there was one before that.
Yeah, I forget what it... Wando Maestro, wasn't it? There's Mondo and Wando Maestro.
No, that's a recent one.
But
see, the fact that we know 3 of the man's Instagram accounts says something about what he's doing.
It's because he comments, and I'm going to tell you what. I mean, look, likes are amazing. Don't get me wrong. They help. They're nice. But if you want to get to know me, I have 9 different social media accounts that I go on every day. I don't have time to go check out everyone who follows me on all of them's profiles and go leave comments on their stuff. I'm too busy. I'm sorry. It's not to be mean or rude. Like, I'll try and scroll through my feed a little bit and like other people's posts and leave some comments on people that, you know, I know and react with and like engage on my posts and things like that.
It's happening in the comments, basically.
But it's happening in the comments, exactly. If you comment on my posts, I will reply to you. But if you do not comment on my posts and then write and get mad at me that I never go like your posts, it's like, when 300 people like my posts, I don't go through the list and go to each of their page and like one of their posts. That would take me all day. And, like, I just don't have the time. I could maybe pay for a bot to do it, but that's not real either, so forget it.
let's just be real with the people in our scene, and comment and be interactive with them. Let them know the feedback. You know, like if they ain't doing it right, you tell them that ain't it, chief. And if they're doing it right, then you fucking give them the thumbs or something. Eventually, they will appreciate you. If you appreciate them, the best thing you could do is to do that.
100%.
They are gonna appreciate you.
100%.
I appreciate you, bro.
Same, man. I see you on my comments today.
So, I don't know if you're watching. I'm just saying.
Just today, he's one of the guys who commented, "We need more like now." So we're making more now. We're making another episode because of Wando Maestro and because of all the other people who commented on our posts and sent us messages thanking us for being entertaining and inspiring. And like, if you think we're entertaining now, like, wait, it gets better.
You know, Adam's still being awkward on camera, but today you're being after that scene, yeah, you're a little bit better. You're a little bit better. But last time you literally talked about how you had like butterflies and you were gonna barf.
Yeah, I felt that's honest. That's
how do you feel this time?
I was a little nervous still, but like again, once I sit down,
right?
Yeah, definitely. The positive feedback gave me a lot of confidence, and like I was really excited to do it. I'll be honest, I was still nervous about getting on camera and making sure I looked okay and getting changed before, and then this guy just ambushes me in my bedroom while I'm putting clothes on, and I had no chance to even think about it before we're on the couch talking.
You gotta ambush people who are nervous. That's how you get them to do it.
Depending on what the situation is.
I mean, yeah, the fact that you're not like, stop that and let's redo it again, I think that's why this podcast is working.
Yeah. Like, I can think of a lot of situations where somebody's nervous that you don't want to ambush them. But...
And you don't want to have a podcast with them either. You don't want to have a podcast with them either. So this is just like, it's good that you were rolling with the punches. And now that we're rolling with the punches, let's go into a new tip.
What's the new tip?
My new tip of the day is, you better be clapping at other people's success.
100%.
Because if you're not clapping at other people's success, people are going to feel that vibe. And they're going to wonder why you're not clapping. And they might be thinking maybe you won't clap when they succeed. And then they ain't going to clap when you succeed.
We make it clap.
But it's a serious tip. Think about it. If there's any part of your life where, like, when Adam makes a sale, dude, I'm stoked for him. Period. There's no part of me that goes, I wish I made a sale.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you make sales and I'm like, man, but that's not because I'm jealous, it's because I'm competitive.
Okay, I feel that. Definitely feel that. But I'm just trying to make the point that there might have been a time in my life where I did consider someone else's success in relation to mine or something like that. I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking.
I get what you're saying.
Where it's like, oh, that person's succeeding, so therefore it means that I can't now?
Yeah,
which isn't true. We can all succeed.
That's ridiculous.
We can all succeed. People can be fans of Adam Millward and GermDee at the same time. It's very simple. You just look at one painting, enjoy it, and then you look at the other, and you enjoy it. It's as simple as that.
Preferably, you buy one of each and tell everyone, hey, look at these guys on the podcast. I own one of each of their paintings, and I bought them on episode 2 before they were super famous like Joe Rogan.
Who's Eddie Bravo in this situation?
I don't watch Joe Rogan's podcast, so I can't even comment on that.
I'm Eddie Bravo. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, right. I watched like one episode of it, and I saw Elon Musk smoking a joint on it on Facebook, and like that's about it.
No, we picked one out the other day, and we were kind of watching it, but it was not Elon Musk, and it wasn't Jones.
Wasn't it Gary Vaynerchuk?
Maybe.
I think it was Gary V. There you go.
Maybe.
Good synchronicity. So anyone out there who is into the metaphysical things and synchronicities, that's the universe telling you to go check out Gary V. right there.
Honestly, like I don't like look at Gary Vee all the time. I really don't. I don't look at him that much. But one of my good friends who I did a podcast with earlier today tuned me on to Gary Vee, and whenever I heard his shtick, I was like, interesting.
Guy knows what he's talking about.
And when he brought it up again, the guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, the guy kind of, he's telling it like it is. He's telling a universal truth most of the time. So it's like, do you want to hear it? But I think the main fucking thing for people in his field, and especially because he's American, he deals with a lot of people that are like, you know, they just need to be told to do it. And apparently Nike isn't saying it enough to them. And they have to call Gary Vaynerchuk, and he literally just tells them to do it.
Yeah, no,
that's like the strangest thing.
And he even says that.
Just do it.
He even says that a lot, because a lot of people that'll come to him, and even in some ways myself, I didn't believe I could be an artist. I didn't believe I could, like, start my own business and make it into something that would sustain me. I had a little bit of faith, but, like, this guy basically gave me permission to do it. Because a lot of what he talks about is don't care what other people think. If you're starting a business, other people are going to shit on you at first. It's just the way it is. People aren't going to believe in it. People aren't going to believe in you. People are going to know other people that tried to start businesses and failed, and those other people didn't have the right mindset, so when that business failed, it ruined their lives. But most successful entrepreneurs had several businesses that failed first. Now one of them's president of the United States. Don't ask me any more about that, but that's where I'll leave that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you want to be successful, you're gonna fail. There's no doubt about it. So the trick is to fail as much as possible, as early as possible, and then once you've failed, you learn from those mistakes, which we talked about last time. There's no such thing as a mistake if you learn from it.
Yeah, get used to... I mean, the word fail doesn't have to be a bad thing. I mean, I technically failed at all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
I ran all kinds of businesses, and there was just an opportunity to find out that's not for me. And my type of character, when it's not for me, I drop it like it's hot. Okay? Even if it's my own business. It's over. Boom. Burn it, bro. Fucking gasoline, light a match. It's done because it's not for me.
Yeah.
So I always was looking for the thing that was for me, and I'm blessed that eventually I found it. And I think it was through trying and trying and trying. But if I sat there and thought about it, I probably would still be on square one thinking about that. And then when I tried it, it wouldn't be that, so I'd be fucking pissed.
See, I'm blessed that I knew right away when I started art that I wanted my thing to be mandalas. The other style back here, that actually came a few years
I'm not
later.
talking about that, bro. I'm talking about, like...
Oh.
I'm talking about, like, I did websites. I was doing art, but art in a very weird way. Websites, video games, da-da-da-da. It's like I'm a cog in a wheel for things. And then eventually it was, oh, I'm making visual magic. Oh, I'm making visual magic. I'm going to make my own visual magic. And it's going to be hype.
I see
and
what you're saying.
That took 10 years of, like, I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 18.
I was a
my
sales
last job
guy,
was
but
19.
I wasn't really an entrepreneur.
19 was my last job. So, like, dude, I used to sell X-ray glasses downtown. Did I tell you this story?
I believe you may have, like, when we first started hanging around, but I don't remember it. If you want to tell the story again,
no,
please,
leave it vague.
go ahead.
I used to sell X-ray glasses to people downtown, and they were dollar store glasses. Okay? Among other things that I did as a business. Eventually, I kind of felt that I was rusing people, because what if those X-ray glasses weren't really real?
Can I tell the story?
What if they were giving me $50 and those X-ray glasses were just dollar store glasses? I started to feel bad, so I stopped selling X-ray glasses.
I want to tell the story about where I developed my passion for sales. Because I developed that way before I developed my passion for art. And it's a story from when I was a kid. I was in scouting. And I think I was maybe 9, 10, or 11. Like, I wasn't younger than 9. I wasn't older than 11. And our scout troop used to do what was called a bottle drive to raise money to buy new tents and gas, Coleman stoves and things like that. So we would go door to door and we would knock on people's doors and ask them if they had any refundable bottles that they would donate to us that we would then take back, take the refunds, and that would be our fundraiser.